Cody Rhodes is back. Hey guys, welcome to the 716 Sports Entertainment Podcast, where we're going to review Saturday night's main event, which came to you guys live last night from Tampa, Florida. And it was the WWE's latest premium live event. So we're going to break down all the matches. We're going to talk about the good and the bad, and we're going to give you guys our thoughts and opinions on the show that was. As always, I'm Mike, 716 Sports Entertainment, joined by Mr. Sean O'Neill, Mr. T. Reese. And guys, let's break down the show. So we started off with, actually, I kind of want to take a step back for a second first. I want to give a shout out to the crowd because I think the crowd was awesome. Like, for what they did, they popped hard for pretty much everything throughout the show, minus the women's match, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But to start off the show, we had the tag team match between Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker versus CM Punk and Sami Zayn. So I'm going to actually I'll kick it over to you guys to kind of give your thoughts and opinions on the match and the inevitable bonus point that I scored during that match for picking a certain third member of a crew to come and join us. So let's kick it off, guys. What'd you think of the match?
Sean, go ahead. You got your finger up.
No, my finger wasn't up. You can go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm good.
No, I insist. I want to hear your thoughts first.
No, I'm good.
The match was pretty much to be expected.
Before we get to that commercial, now you can go give your opinion.
There we go.
Wait, what? Okay. So,
sorry, sir, stop. There's a time for a commercial break.
This time it's a 3-minute commercial.
So the problem is with your commercial breaks is
that
it being on live TV. This technically wasn't a PLE. So as much as we hate the fact that there were nonstop commercial breaks, you have to expect that when you're broadcasting on NBC.
Oh God! Here we go. The shill for TV now.
I'm saying it sucks.
Commercial.
But if you're broadcasting on live TV, that's the price you have to pay. It's going to be nonstop Mike saying commercial here, which is about the same as what happened yesterday. The match was great.
Absolutely awful. It ruined the entire show.
There was one other thing that ruined the show for me too, and it was Jesse Ventura. But we'll get to that later if you want.
Oh, I disagree completely.
I love Jesse.
Ruined it for me.
Go ahead. But tell us about the match.
But the match gave us everything we wanted, and the fact that it ended with our reveal of the third man, and as crazy as it is, there being two heavyweight enforcers in a group, and that never happening in the world. We'll give credit to Mr. Mike doing his EO Sky dance there. It was, in fact, Bronson Reed, and even a blind squirrel does find its nuts. So,
Bronson Reed.
The 17 points down there, 16 points right here, 15 points over there.
I only got 15?
No, you've got 17. You've got 17.
Oh, you pointed the wrong way. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, no way. Because for me, you're down there, and no longer pink hair is to my left.
I do want to say this. You're absolutely right with the commercials. I literally, the first commercial break, I got up, ran in the kitchen, ran to the bathroom real quick, came back, probably spent like a minute. I thought, okay, the show should be back on. It was still airing commercials. Airing commercials.
Right after the Bronson Reed thing, I stepped away for probably 10 minutes, and the next match hadn't even started yet. It was ridiculous.
I even paused it for a second because I had something to do, and it literally made me watch every commercial break that was lined up between the time that I stopped it to the time that I stopped watching again. It put every commercial that passed from the show. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me right now. But other than that, I mean, to be perfectly honest, if you total up the time the matches were going, it was only like maybe an hour and 40 minutes of wrestling and 20 minutes of commercials through the whole thing.
Yep.
But outside of that, the Bronson thing, hey, I'm fine with it. If they're gonna run with Bronson, put a suit on that big boy and see how he looks walking around. But I was shocked. I was waiting for someone because the way the camera angle was set up, like it was like trying to let you see the crowd behind everybody. And I seen someone leap over the barrier. I'm like, who is? Oh my gosh! Here's his point. There's his point. Only thing I can hope is that I get a point for the win of the match. But either way, it was a good time. It was all right. It was not too bad of a match. It wasn't too long. They had a couple of good spots in there, but it was good. I was fine with it. Let's see what they do with Bronson now.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like, you still tallying points over there or something?
The only thing I don't get about the Bronson thing is he was just in that feud with Rollins before he got injured. So I don't know if they're going to really address that. Hopefully they do.
Well, I think that's probably what they're going to ride the angle with, is that they had a feud, they had a conversation, and because if you look, Braun Breaker didn't know. He was shocked. He didn't know what was going on. So I'm pretty sure it'd been like some behind the scenes. They'll bring it up, some behind the scenes conversation they had with Bronson and got him to join. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I got to give applause to Braun Breaker. I mean, he put on a great acting job too, acting like he had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
Good job, guys. Good job. This spot, I give it a day.
Think about the benefit for Bronson too, getting to work with Heyman.
That's the whole point.
Yeah,
he desperately. He's not good on the microphone at all, so he absolutely needs to be. He needs the rub there from Paul Heyman. What did you guys think of the match, though? Like overall,
it was good.
Yeah, the match was pretty good. I mean, it was. It wasn't nothing crazy. I mean, other than your boy Braun opening up right away with his lariat clothesline from the ring. Outside of that, it was just business as usual. But it was good. They set it up nice for Bronson to jump in the ring. We pretty much called it. Us guys here on 716 Sports Entertainment called it that there was going to be a reveal this week. And we got to give it, I'll give Mike his flowers. I'm going to give you your flowers. Every once in a while, a broken clock gets the time right, and he got it right. So hats off to you. What a call. Congratulations. Holding on to second place. Good job.
That's right.
I'm still looking down at you guys, but it's okay.
It's going to make my inevitable comeback that much sweeter to dethrone you.
We've been hearing about a comeback for the last 2 PLEs.
It's a long year.
That's right. It's a marathon, not a race.
Exactly.
Yeah. Overall, the match was good, though. I mean, all the work. I mean, with all the workers involved in the match, obviously, it was going to be a very good match. I think it was smart for Sammy to take the pin and not Punk, to be given that Punk is the top babyface on Raw. The only issue that I think I have is that I don't think that this feud is over.
No.
Like, I don't think that CM Punk is going to move on to something else. I think that neither one of them is going to, this is going to kind of be like the top program on Raw for a little while here. So this was
lining up, not to cut you off, they're just lining up CM Punk's faction. So he's going to have a group going against that group for a while. Be a lot of back and forth up to SummerSlam.
Yeah. So this led us into I want to get your guys' opinion on this, because I don't. One of the things our audience expects from us is that we're honest on this channel here, and I don't think any one of the three of us represent the white knight community of the internet that demands that women get equal time on these matches. But at the same time, where the storyline warrants it, I think that a women's match should absolutely be there, right? Given that, this did not need to be on the card at all. It, especially considering the main event after it got started and with all the stuff that happened at the end and how the end got rushed, you didn't need the 15 minutes or so that was this match, which could have been given to the end of the show to kind of give it a bit more levity. So I'm going to stop there, and I want to hear your guys' opinions on the match. I want to hear your opinions on whether or not this needed to be on there, and then the outcome.
The match basically is the same match we've seen every time these two have gone against each other for the last 2 months. That alone tells me that it didn't need to be on the event. But, I mean, they only would have had 4 matches otherwise. I don't know that they had anything prepared to really throw into that spot. They probably didn't need to give it as much time as it did, but with 17 commercial breaks, like you mentioned before, That definitely, no doubt, played a part into things. And I don't know. I mean, I picked Chelsea to win just because I'm an idiot. But I think that the match overall, like I said, wasn't terrible, but it was average.
So let me ask you, Reese, then. Do you think that would you have rather had this match on there, or would you have rather added 5 minutes to the end of the show to kind of make everything that happened with Cody's return and the way that the end of that match was completely rushed because it was right up against the top of the hour? What do you think is more important or should have, carried more weight?
Okay. Well, okay. I think that I do believe there should have been a women's match in this. But this shows you the state of the WWE with the women's division right now. It is that they don't have anything going for it right now. So this match got thrown in, Friday?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so it got announced on Friday that they were just going to add this match because they had nothing else to put on the show. So that for everyone complaining about women matches, you should complain about the fact that WWE doesn't do right by the women's. They kind of just let it sit there and they just hope that something catches. They ride it for a little while, then they hope something else catches. There's no plans for the women's divisions outside of maybe, I don't know, the man. Outside of that, they got a plan for her.
Well, and right, like even Becky and Lyra would have made more sense here.
I thought Lyra has the broken nose, so that could have been the reason why they ended up having to throw this match in there. Maybe that was the plan, was to have them wrestle again. But yeah, I mean, it didn't do them any favors. I can tell you that. It didn't do any favors for anybody putting this match in there. And don't forget now, I'm gonna be honest with you, it was thrown in after the Rollins match, so it gives it some sort of credibility. If any other night, if this was a regular PL, it'd have been the first match of the night.
I don't know. They like to do their
match of the night.
They like to do their second matches, usually as the lesser of matches on pay-per-views.
Yeah,
like bathroom break style matches.
But I'm talking about the match it was after, though. They opened with the Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins match never opens the show. So because that match went first and you put the women's after, it kind of hides it in there.
Well, consider that they're on national TV. They want to start with something big.
I don't know about that because, you had 20 minutes of commercials you were going through anyway. So it didn't matter.
But I mean, that's my other question, though, is the reason this was on this PLE because they want to save any of the other women's stuff for like the bigger actual events?
I think so. I would agree with that. But it's just my only issue is that there's starting to be a pattern now this year after WrestleMania of this.
Yeah.
And even don't forget now, even WrestleMania had a problem. Up to WrestleMania, we didn't even have most of the matches on the card yet until the end of that, till like that week.
Yeah.
Which was very bizarre.
They've been hot shot booking.
Yes. And that's basically what they've been doing. They've been sitting there and they've been just kind of like, all right, well, we got to fill a spot. Let's take a women's match. Yeah. And that's what they've been doing. They've been doing it on repeat since Mania.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I rewatched the ending a couple of times and I would have just loved if the ending got 2 more minutes. Just 2 more minutes at the end, because it was so rushed. Like you could tell Cody, not to skip ahead, but you could tell Cody was like trying to be like, come on, Jake, get your ass up. Like, we got to like stand here and like pose for the camera, and it was so ridiculous because they were so pressed for time at the end of the card there. But
Cody ran over to get the mic because he wanted to say something. He had to hurry up and say something real quick before the show ended.
Exactly. And I just want to quickly give my thoughts on the match. So again, not to shit all over women's wrestling because Chelsea is an awesome wrestler. She really is. I mean, Sean, you've mentioned in the past that she wrestled in Lucha with her match with Penta. And, if they really let her do her business, like Chelsea could really be sort of a kick-ass wrestler, right? But they kind of like shoehorn her into, a lot of these nonsense feuds with people, frankly, who are not as good as she is, nor do they let her kind of shine the way that she should shine. But to my point, man, Zelina Vega, we got to get the title off of her. She botched that 619 horribly. Her music's not her fault, but her music is just dreadful. Nobody even knows it's like who it is, like when she's coming out because her music is so like generic create a wrestler music. I kind of almost like feel bad for her because she's kind of getting the short end of the stick like a lot with this title reign. Like everybody is just kind of
No
like
pun intended.
when is this belt gonna come off of her? Like I want this belt to desperately be on somebody else.
Yeah, it's gonna be Charlotte.
Well, they're again. This is the problem with the. I mean, I don't know how many times we can say this is the problem with the women's division right now, and the tag team division. There is no, I don't know, no foresight with any of it. It's just kind of like, all right, let's just go week to week and see what pops. And you're right, Zelina. This is the problem when you put the belt on someone who's at this stage as Zelina. She's been pretty much a career jobber for WWE. He pops up every so often. They'll stick her as a manager to somebody every so often. And when you take
like that manager,
and you take that character and you put a belt on them, nobody takes the character serious. You didn't even build her up to it. I mean, you just kind of rushed her in, gave her the belt. And I'm assuming, like we said, they're going to hold on to it. She's going to hold on to it for a little bit until they decide on what they want to do with the women's division. I sincerely hope it's not Charlotte again. We can't have this watch and repeat. You got these young women from the NXT coming up. You have quite a few women that are in NXT that can probably bring up to try and get this division and, kind of, give it some energy, give it some life. And like I said, that the match was not, it was just okay. Just as a mid match, nothing special. The botch, I was like, wow, she really laid into her face on that and she busted her wide open.
Yep.
But again, this is what happens. So you have someone who's, kind of designed to be you've designed her and packaged her as a jobber. Now you're trying to repackage her as a champion and nobody's buying it.
So Zelina can occasionally put on a good match. As an example, that match in Puerto Rico against Rhea was a fantastic match. It's probably the best match she's ever had. But this definitely did not fall into that. And like anytime you botch bad enough to bust somebody's face open, that's a problem. And I go back to what I said. I don't think it's going to be Charlotte that takes the title off her. I think they might do what you said, T, and give it to a more up and coming person.
That's probably the angle I would go with right now. And then just try to build a universe around this belt like they're doing with the men's right now. Just build something around it. Show these women competing for it. But they got so many off storylines they're not finishing. I mean, you got I guess the rumors Bianca's coming back. What's her face? Jay's girl.
Naomi.
Naomi.
Yeah, Naomi, I don't even know what they're doing with her. She hasn't really done anything since WrestleMania. Every so often you see a spot on the
She's
show.
She's going to end up in the women's Money at the Bank match, I think.
Well, I'm a little shocked that they didn't have her on the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was a perfect time to put her on TV against somebody to keep pushing her storyline. But now her storyline, I don't forgot about her. I've completely forgot about her. So, I mean, this is what it is. And the match, the match wasn't that great. It was just okay. It ain't because it's women, so stop it with the white knighting. It was not a good match. Because if it was a men's match, I would say the same thing. It was not a good match.
Heard it here first. T hates women's matches.
So, yeah, I mean, it was what it was, I guess. I still don't think it needed to be on the card.
No purpose.
But then I guess we'll go to the next one and we'll talk. The placement of the next one was kind of interesting, right? Being that it was the third match of the show. We had John Cena versus R-Truth. And, John Cena came out to his usual, no lights, no nothing, just a black background with the white letters of John Cena, like right on the Tron there. And he came out to the ring, and there was the Let's Go Cena Sucks chant. And then shout out to Sean here for calling the R-Truth coming out to John Cena's music, which was a nice touch. I definitely like that. But they actually ended up giving this more time than I kind of thought they would. R-Truth did get a flurry of offense in, and then obviously Cena kind of initially looked conflicted, but then the ref turned his back and Cena, kicked him in the jimmies, and hit him with the AA and got the win. And then obviously after the match was over, blasted him in the face with the title and, kind of just walked off. So what did we think of the match? And I guess we know where we're going from here, given the end of the show. But yeah, I guess let's hear your guys' opinions on everything that happened.
You're absolutely right about the. I mean, it wasn't a long match, but again, it was longer than I expected it to be. I mean, obviously, I knew there were going to be all kind of little gimmick spots, and then I mean, R-Truth comes in the ring dressed like the old John Cena, and he's got the jorts on, and they're in the Jordans and all that stuff, and he's doing his moves in the ring, and it was just kind of like, okay, guys, all right. It was fun for a little bit, but they're trying to sell this match for us to take it serious with him doing that stuff to try to tug on the old heartstrings. But to me, I think it missed, if you ask me. I think it missed what their intention was with this match. But the way it ended was great. I mean, finally Cody comes back. Again, like you said, Mike, I thought they could have spent more time with Cody in the ring coming back and, speaking his piece. Because, I mean, we haven't seen him since Mania?
So you would have preferred
Cody came back at the end of the show, but I mean, we can touch on that now, I guess. So, yeah, I mean, we haven't seen Cody since Mania, and I mean, I think honestly, like Cody coming back saved the whole show. Like it completely saved the show.
I think the segment afterwards between Cena and Jay before Jay's match was pretty interesting too. The lead up for that and his deciding to target Jay as well. But as far as the actual match, the Truth and Cena match went, got to give a shout out again to the crowd for this particular match too. The dueling "you can't wrestle" and the "yes he cans," and the back and forth there. They were surprisingly into it for the fact that we all knew this was just going to be a BS segment of both Cena and Truth hitting Cena's moves in the ring until it ended with a kick to the Johnson.
I will say this, okay? As a lifetime watcher of WWE, Saturday Night Main Event was like this back in the 80s. Or back, 80s? Late 80s, yeah. 90s? It was like this. It was kind of like a jobber show. They would, Hulk Hogan is going to show up, and he doesn't show up to like the last minute of the show and doesn't do anything. He just runs in the ring, tears off his shirt, scares everybody out of the ring, and that was that. So, I mean, there never were any. I mean, think about this. Can anyone name a Saturday Night Main Event that was a classic?
No, like the Saturday Night Main Event was built for your like Jesse the Body Venturas and your high mid card wrestlers to be shown off.
Yeah, and they never ever used it as an event to really put out a great show. It was just kind of just there, and this one was there to make money, obviously, with all the commercials that we got with it.
Yeah. So let's. I know one of you wanted to talk about Jesse the Body Ventura, so let's get into that for a second. Sean, you look like you got something to say.
Between how slow he talks and how stuck in the 80s he sounds, it just kind of ruined the immersion for me. I feel like they shouldn't have had him on, especially when he was commentating during the actual match that he commentated during. I feel like he should have just been on there during their pre-show. You know what, T? You know what? I'm not even going to say anything else. I haven't done it once, so you can.
well, listen, hang on. There's a reason for that, though. This entire show was about nostalgia, and the only reason Jesse's on there is because he was present during that time, and he was a commentator during the Saturday Night Main Event shows. So the way he talks, he's always talked like that. I love having the old 80s cadence when he's talking and stuff and saying, what did he say? He says, is Mike Tyson going to take another dive tonight?
Well, the fact that he didn't even know what he was talking about. He's talking about how he was the only guy who left the commentator desk to go in the ring until Pat McAfee did it, only for Michael Cole to have to correct him and tell him he's undefeated at WrestleMania. Like, God.
So one of the things I do like a little bit that I think is definitely lacking in WWE these days is the heel commentator.
Yeah.
And like I think we definitely need more of the heel commentator, and I do. I mean, I don't think it needs to be Corey Graves because I don't really care that much for Corey Graves, but like I do really, really miss having the heel commentator like quite a bit. And I really did enjoy him kind of being like at the end of the McIntyre Damian Priest match, which we'll touch on next. That he was basically kind of like, well, that's stupid. He just walked out of the ring. He was like really dogging on it. And I was like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny that you're making fun of how it ended because I also thought that the ending was stupid. So it's kind of like good to hear the heel commentator kind of make fun of the baby face, winning that match that way. So let's break
great, though, because he was a great heel commentator. He loved it.
Yeah.
And he was, and honestly, I mean, other than Bobby the Brain Heenan, he was the two were the greatest heel commentators of all time.
Yeah. No.
Now, the coal miner version of Michael Cole is the greatest heel commentator of all time.
No, stop it.
So let's talk about the next one.
We should clip that of Sean saying that and post it on the internet.
Okay.
So next we had the steel cage match between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. So, Sean, why don't you give us your thoughts on this one?
Very upset with myself that I didn't go with my gut thought that Priest was going to win this, especially with the way that WWE has been not booking the greatest lately. I had a feeling that something along these lines might happen. I mean, coming out now after the fact that there's potentially an injury to Drew McIntyre plays a huge role in the way this match ended if they, in fact, needed to write him off TV for a while. That's the only reason I can think of as to it ending this way.
Yeah, my only thing is I don't think you had to have him lose this match to write him off of TV, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I don't think because you're ending this storyline, so he can take some time off of TV to come back.
Yeah.
So now you're by Damian Priest beating him. Now you're boosting Damian Priest. Now what are you boosting him to? What's next in line for him? I just don't see him being the world champion or heavyweight champion. I just don't see them putting the belt on him. So I mean, what do you do? You throw him back into the Intercontinental belt or the US belt and see what happens there. Because as of right now, he's not feuding with anybody.
Yeah, I really don't know where they go with Priest. And I like I said yesterday when we did our review for our predictions, I really was of the mind that Drew was going to go right into a feud with Cody. I mean, maybe he will after Money in the Bank, but I don't know. It looks like he's just going to get some time off and going into a feud with, the top baby face on the show, coming off of losing your last feud. I mean, he's going to have very little credibility going into that feud if that does end up happening.
Technically, he didn't lose, though. It's tied, if I recall, right?
I mean,
so
1-1 and they're both 1 and 2 technically.
So I mean, have them. This I guess gives them an out that Drew comes back from his injury to finish off Priest, and in the meantime, I have a feeling Priest is probably going to be in the next Money at the Bank qualifier at minimum, because now that he's not in this feud at the moment.
Yeah, but now we're going to be watching them wrestle for a 100th time.
You're right.
In over a 12-month time period.
You trust WWE to not do that, though?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that's what they're going to do. I'm giving my opinion on this.
Yeah.
They should not run this back again. They should have ended it with Drew winning it, end it, start a storyline for Damian Priest with something else, or like you said, get him in line with the Money in the Bank thing. But now he's going into the Money in the Bank with the win over Drew McIntyre.
This feud should have ended at WrestleMania. Absolutely.
I can care less about how many times who beat who. Just end the storyline right now.
Yep, I agree.
You know what? I'm just thinking out loud. You know where I'd like to see Damian Priest go? He's on Raw, right? Or no, he's on SmackDown.
He's on SmackDown.
Oh, never mind then. I was gonna say I'd love to see him feud with Rusev.
Oh,
Rumor is Rusev and Sheamus, though.
Yeah, I know Rusev's on Raw, but I mean that would be a good one. I mean, Black is kind of involved with Nakamura right now, but I think that would be a really nice feud for Rusev to kind of go into with like a mid to top level guy, where Rusev could get the win, and I don't think it would hurt Priest all that much. But I mean, I digress. So yeah, I mean overall the match was fine. It was definitely the hardest hitting match of the night, but at the same time, I think it also kind of suffered from the fact that it was on like regular TV, and they probably couldn't do all the blood spots that they might have wanted to do that they did when Punk and McIntyre had their steel cage match a few months, like 6 or 8 months ago now. So yeah, overall it was a fine match.
I got a
So
question for you guys before we go to the next one. What do you think
yeah,
about this non-breakable announcer table now?
I don't like it.
yeah, I don't like it either.
Seems weird,
I
right?
always
It seems
like,
weird. It just seems off.
yeah, I like seeing people get put through the table, not bounce off of it.
I mean, it doesn't like it helps the wrestlers.
No, it looks like it hurt.
I mean, I don't understand what they're doing.
Yeah, when Sami Zayn went over it, when like Braun Breaker leaped at him or whatever, that looked like super uncomfortable. Like I
Yeah,
was wondering if like either one of them was injured from that because that looked like a pretty nasty spot.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. I think they're gonna have to bring back the broken table. If they're gonna use the announcer tables again, they need to break those tables away. Because I'm telling you right now, somebody's gonna get murdered on one of those things.
yep.
So before we hit the main event, we did have John Cena backstage with Jey Uso, where they kind of talked a little trash to one another. And Jey had made mention, "I haven't seen you since the Royal Rumble when I eliminated you." And then John Cena kind of, continued his banter of, "I'm just here to walk away with this title, and wouldn't it be hilarious if I left with this title and your title was on the strap of a YouTuber?" So it kind of led cadence to obviously what we got at the end of the match when Cena came out. But so overall, we had Jey Uso versus Logan Paul. This got about 10 minutes and two commercial breaks. So about 4 minutes before the end of the match. I mean, the action in the match was fine. Obviously, the post angle part of the match was, where all the talking points for this show are going to come from. So I'll kick it over to you, Reese. What did you think of the match? And then obviously the closing segment.
I think they had a good match actually. And the match was fine. I wouldn't call it an all-time classic match, but the match was great. Both the guys got their spots they needed. I mean, again, much as I can't stand Logan Paul, I can't even stand looking at this guy's face. Let alone, I can't take away the fact that he does really good work in the ring. I can't take that away from him. So, it was good. It was great. And then the way it ended was, I think we all pretty much kind of called it a bit, I guess, on our last podcast that Cody was going to come out and save Jey, I would imagine, in this match. But I only said it because I thought Logan Paul was going to be the third person. So I will say that. But outside that, it was a good match. I thought they had some good spots in there, especially when Jey caught him with the super kick jumping off of the rope. I thought that was great. Her timing on that was impeccable.
So I know one of our friends is a huge Logan Paul fan, so I know he was real upset to see him lose. But you're right, T. This match was pretty much everything that we could expect from it. They're both real good workers in the ring. The athleticism and the work that Logan Paul has put in since coming to WWE, you can't fault him for that. The guy is definitely putting the effort in. I think that I'm a little bit more surprised that we're getting Cody and Jey versus Cena and Logan Paul, though, because I thought that it was going to be Travis Scott. So I think I'm a little bit happier that this is the direction they're going than the rumored direction. But this, like you said, they pretty much saved the entire show.
Yeah. I'm so glad that Cody returned. I wish it would have gotten more time at the end. And I'm sure, Cody will come out and, be the best talker that they have on, that's a full-time talker on the microphone there and completely save this for the next 2 weeks, right? Because Cena will probably only show up once, So it'll be interesting though, because they're, these two guys are on Raw and Cody's technically a SmackDown star. So we'll probably get Cody on like all 4 shows between now and Money in the Bank. I wouldn't be surprised. So overall, what's kind of your final rating for the show, I guess? Like in kind of where we stand. We kind of already talked about where we go from here, but what was your overall rating for the show?
I would, because of the reveal of the third person, Cody coming back, I would probably put this at a 3 out of 5 stars. That's probably where I would sit comfortably right now. Yeah, I like 3 out of 5 stars for this one. It was, I'll be honest with you, it felt like I was watching, SmackDown or Raw. That's what it felt like. There was nothing other than the old school entrances into the ring. It just felt like another, Monday or a Friday night.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I'd give it probably between a 2.5 and a 3. Nothing real spectacular out of it other than like T said, the third man reveal that we talked about and Cody coming back. The wrestling was about what we'd expect from all of the participants. And I mean, the women's match with the injury and that kind of dragged it down a little bit. Like you said, it didn't even really need to be there. And the Cena segment, once again, it's 2025. Did we really need to have a Cena R-Truth segment? But yeah, I'd say about 2.5 to 3 out of 5.
So that's our breakdown, guys. Thank you so much for joining us as we discuss Saturday night's main event. Looking forward to NXT Battlegrounds tonight, as well as AEW Double or Nothing. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Look forward to our reviews of those shows that are going to be popping up in the next couple of days here, as well as our breakdowns of Monday Night Raw. And we will have some more NFL content coming for you guys next week as well. So as always, smash that like and subscribe button. We really appreciate it. And have yourselves a great evening, guys, and take care.